I kind of have a different background here. We are glamping this weekend, so hopefully the Wi-Fi connection holds. We're kind of out in the middle of some woods. Yeah, I want to see real quick before we get going here. Isn't that pretty? Yes, there is lots of fake accounts with my name. I keep reporting them, but I think that TikTok doesn't even say anything to them because it just keeps happening. Okay. I'm just not sure about this background. Sorry, people. I'm trying to get a pretty one. I couldn't get one going. Okay. So, but we're going to roll with it. I also can't see because I'm in a white t-shirt, so I can't see my comments. Can you see my comments?
Oh, perfectly.
Well, I can't read them because they're coming up on my white t-shirt. There we go. Maybe I can go to the side of the screen. I'm in my camping garb. You see my t-shirt, and then these are fleece lined pants. We went hiking. It was 10 degrees, people. 10 degrees. And I have been out in this mess. Here, let me clean up my camera. Just a minute. Is that better? Can you tell the difference? I can tell the difference. My moderator is just looking at me like he can't tell. All right. I know. Let me tell you, Spiritual K, that cold was something else. I'm okay with the cold when the wind isn't blowing, but the wind was blowing. But what was really pretty as we went down, and I haven't posted the pictures, but we went down right behind our cabin, and let me show y'all. Can y'all see those pretty? Look, there's like some little waterfalls down there, and it was frozen. It was beautiful. And then when we started walking back up here to come back to our cabin, we passed some deer, and those deer was just watching us like, why are y'all? Because we may or may not have gotten off of a trail and was just trekking through the woods. And so those deer were looking at us like, people, you're not on the trail. What are you doing? All right, so we are going to start with, I think my moderator said he wants me some spirit led. So we're going to start with some spirit led. Yeah, hold on. I'm setting up my phone. All right, we're going to start with some spirit led. Let's see what we got going on here. It's so different because I have never gone live. Of course, I've read in other places besides my office, but I've never gone live actually in another place beside my office. And the energy here is so much different. This first gentleman stepping up, he has an F name like Frank, and I'm hearing Papa Frank, Papa Frank. I'm making notes to keep myself on track because I forget. I read so many people. I was like, is this the guy who was hunting? Was it the other guy? I just don't know. Papa Frank here is telling me that he loved the outdoors, and I'm not surprised because that's where I am. So I'm not surprised. I'm going to have some outdoorsy people stepping up here. He loved the outdoors, and he liked to hunt. More importantly, he liked to fish. He liked to fish a lot more than he liked to hunt. The cold didn't bother him. He is showing me that he lived in an area that was cold, and he would go hunting in the cold. He was, I want to say, I don't have a better word, people. A weathered man. Like his skin was kind of weathered. He had someone who spent a lot of time outside, and so he's showing me his skin is very weathered. When he passed, had something to do with like colon cancer, intestinal, some kind of cancer that affected like his stomach, colon area. And he was not the nicest patient, he is telling me. All right, I'm going to recap. If this person belongs to you, please put yes in the comments. All right, so we have someone, he has like an F name. I'm hearing Papa Frank, but if it was Philip or Frederick, something like that, we could go with it. He loved the outdoors. He liked to hunt, but he also liked to fish. He liked to fish more than he liked to hunt. He's also he He lived in an area that was very cold, and he would still go hunting in the cold. He died of something that had to do with like stomach, colon cancer, some kind of intestinal type cancer. And he was not the best patient there towards the end. He has definitely let me know that. Does this gentleman sound familiar to any of you? Has anyone said anything about him? Well, this is spirit led. All right. Hello, hello. I'm going to describe this guy one more time. If no one grabs him, we are going to move him right along. Actually, I won't. He's knows I won't. He's like, no, I'm going to just park it. So he's just going to go and wait. I don't know if you've ever seen that happen before. And we don't have a spirit that's grabbed right away. They'll come and wait, and then they are always eventually grabbed. Is it liver? You know, it could be. It's somewhere. He's just making the bottom part of my abdomen hurt.
I think it's my brother.
If it's liver, I don't think it started there. Okay, so someone says I think it's their brother.
Jennifer, I think it's my brother.
Jennifer. All right, Miss Jennifer. Do you remember the cold? I mean, it's not like the cold didn't bother this guy, but he would go out. Someone else says the try it once lady. I think Jennifer grabbed this gentleman first. He's also saying, I'm gonna give a couple more information, Jennifer. If it doesn't fit your brother, then just say, oh yeah, no, not mine. Because he's showing he also had a hunting dog. He really, and this dog went with him everywhere. He's showing me this dog he'd open up the door and the dog would jump in the truck. Everywhere he went, this dog would go. Jump in, jump in, jump in. And the cold just didn't even bother him. He reminds me of that Frozen song. You know, that Frozen, cold didn't bother him anyway, bother her anyway, or whatever that song is. Anyway, hello, hello. All right, Miss Jennifer. I'm assuming you haven't said not yours, so I'm assuming we're still with you. You know, he is showing me that, Jennifer, you have, he's showing me for one thing, someone has part of his name here on earth. Someone has part of his name. Also, he's showing me that something has recently been done in his remembrance. Like y'all were just talking about him and something was just done in his remembrance.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. My moderator started laughing. So when he does that, I'm like, what I missed? Do I need to answer a question? What's going on? He's also saying that a mom figure to him is still alive. I'm not convinced it's his mom, but a mom figure, someone who could kind of feel the energetic vibration in his life, someone who really took care of him, was always, and they have a really tough time still through the holidays with him being gone. And when spirits top up and talk about someone having a tough time, it is just a sign that they are still around and they still hear what's going on.
I haven't seen Jennifer say anything.
All right, Jennifer, thank you so much for letting me read your brother. I appreciate you. And he was kicking it off right. And he absolutely loved the fact that I was here in the outdoors. He is absolutely loving where we are right now.
Oh my, thank you so much.
You want me to still do spirit led?
I've got a couple of Ashley, Nana, Albertine, Albert, I-N-E.
All right, Miss Ashley on here. Do we have an Ashley that is, oh, that's right. Okay, let me tell you who we're going to read, and then I'll give you some more information. Ashley, her Nana Albertine. Ashley, Nana Albertine. I don't know if y'all who saw the announcement of this live. Yes. Oh, is that? Yes, it's me.
Yes.
Just so time. Yes, hold tight. I have a quick announcement, and then we're going to come back to your Nana Albertine because she is certainly here, or someone is here. When I called up Albertine, I don't know who saw the announcement of this, but I said I would give a code for 15% off of a reading booked on my website. It has to be booked before November 25th. So when you go to my website and you go to book, you do what you normally would, and there will be a spot for a code, and it's only good for my 90-minute and my 50-minute and my 30-minute readings. 15% off. The code is Christy15, CHRISTY 15. Also, if anyone is interested in hypnotherapy, my husband has a life coaching business, and he does a ton of hypnotherapy. That's like his deal. I offer hypnotherapy on my site, but my deal is psychic mediumship. His deal is hypnotherapy. And his code is success15, right?
I just put both of them on.
Okay, there you go. His website is Ken Jackson Success Coach. Ken Jackson, is that it? No. Executive Coach.
I can get there. Success Coach.
Is it Success Coach?
Executive Coach. Website. Executive Coach.
He's saved as a favorite on my phone, you can tell. Or my so it's Ken Jackson Executive Coach. Did you put it in the chat?
I'm over it now.
Okay, so 15% off of a reading on my site, Christy15. 15% off of a hypnotherapy session on his site, Ken Jackson Executive Coach. He's putting that in the chat right now. All right, Nana Albertine. Nana is here talking about cooking, but she does like it's ethnic, some kind of ethnic food, something that I would not normally cook, and she's rolling it out. So it's not your, it's something that she would have kind of brought from her homeland. I know we all most of us come from a different homeland, but a lot of us have gotten away from that. Polish, thank you, because I was like, this is not something I would ever cook. And you are absolutely right. Polish food, I don't even know what Polish food is. But anyway, she is cooking it and she's having a good time with it. She's also saying, Miss Ashley, that there's some family recipes that have gone down and in the family that are from her. And there's something weird about these recipes. Either it is the handwriting or some of the ingredients. I just see people looking at these recipes and they're being really confused about them. And she is laughing. She's also, whatever she would cook, it's in this pot and it's boiling and it's like steam coming up. And she's teasing me, talking about it was a good facial. It was a good facial because whatever she was cooking, it was just all this steam. Like, I don't know what she was boiling, but all this steam coming up. Ketchup soup. Definitely have you heard of that?
Yes,
I've never heard of that. My moderator is here like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. I've never heard of that. Your grandma is saying, Nana is saying, you know what you're missing. I don't, Nana. You should make me some. She said Ashley can make me some. Ashley, where do you live? You can make me some ketchup soup. Where do you live, Ashley?
Time for dinner.
That's right. Bring it on over. I'll supply the wine. You bring the soup.
Pennsylvania.
Oh, I've always wanted to go to Pennsylvania.
Road trip.
She's also talking about, there are some Christmas traditions coming up, or holiday traditions, I should say, that are from the homeland that y'all still keep going, and how much she very much likes that. And y'all still talk about her. She is talking about, Ashley, that you have kind of, it's so sweet, like you're what I call a collector of people. So when someone is a collector of people, they're really good about being inclusive and holding space for people and making sure that people feel loved in your presence. And you are the one, you could be, not literally, but what she's showing me is like in a grocery store buying something for the holidays, and you hear someone talking about not having a place to go, and you would be writing down your address and your phone number saying, come on, let's go, you're coming with me, you're going to come into my house for the holidays. That's the kind of big heart that you have, and she is so proud of that. Yeah, she is saying that. And I don't know, I've never really said on here, I absolutely knew that if you lived close to me when I said, make some soup, Ashley, bring it on over, I'm supplying the wine, you would have done it. You absolutely would have done it had you lived closer to me. I could just tell that it was the kind of energy that you have. She's so proud of the way that you have such a big heart, and you are just a healer of people. And when I say a healer, I don't mean physically healing, I mean energetically and loving healing. And sometimes that is more important. She's talking about, do you have someone around you has had a little dog that has not been feeling real well, and it's an acknowledgement for her. She sees that going on. When spirits talk about things like that, it's a sign they are around, not something I would know. All right, thank you, Miss Ashley, for letting me read your Nana. All kinds of wildlife out there. A bird just flew really close by. Thank you for letting me read your Nana. She was beautiful. I need to sit up straight, but I look, then I'm weird in the camera. I'm used to my desk, people. I am used to my office and my desk. Yeah, we're not home. We are glamping. We're glamping. I'm feeling really good. And I actually just got a report back. I had a holistic doctor come in, and she ran this. I'll have her on a podcast soon. It was something called Time Waver. It's this new kid on the block. It's about megahertz healing. And she just sent me my second round of results of these tests, and they're looking good. Of course, I'm not strictly relying on her. I'm also relying on Western medicine, and I'm waiting for a test to come back from Western medicine. That is a new kid on the block in the Western medicine. So I have to tell y'all, my sweet medical oncologist, as y'all know, that was a deal. I had my first medical oncologist, supposed to be the best of the best in town. I get it, but he was just one of those people that when you asked him a question, he didn't answer. He just said, that's the way it's been done. It's been done that way for 40 years. So I know he didn't probably mean to come off that way. It just was not the right personality for me. So then I went to another medical oncologist and went with her. And she gave me the same protocol as the first gentleman. It was just, she explained things to me. I like to have my questions answered. I like things explained. And so I told her, first I declined the surgery, and then I was like, this chemo, I'm just not feeling it. And so her poor nurse, I was asking for clarification on some of the tests, and her nurse says, come in early before chemo and talk to the doctor. I said, you don't understand. If I don't get the questions that I answer that I want, I'm not doing chemo. So they set up a telephone consult, and the doctor she said, how willing are you to step outside the box? I was like, do you know what I do for a living? I'm a psychic medium. There is no box for me. And so it's called a Signatera test. And those have been used for quite some time to track the DNA cancer of other types of cancer. It hasn't been used a lot for breast cancer. So it's not that it's not effective. It's just there's not a lot of scientific data that she can give me percentages. So anyway, they took that test about a week and a half ago. It's been a week and a half. It'll be 2 weeks on Tuesday. And the results were supposed to come back in a week and a half to 2 weeks. So I am waiting for that to come back. And, chemo still isn't off the table for me. Even if she comes back and says, this test is good, you're looking good, and I don't do chemo now, I will still want a PET scan every couple of months or something. I don't feel comfortable just walking away from Western medicine and not really keeping track of my health. I want it all. And you know what's also sad? People, this is very sad. At this point, should be cheaper to do chemo because, all the homeopathic stuff is not covered by insurance. Crazy expensive it's getting. Just thought y'all like to know that. Okay, who we got?
Not sure if Caitlin's still on. But
Miss Caitlin.
Grandma Deb.
Okay, Miss Caitlin. Grandma Deb.
I'm watching.
Okay. Grandma Deb is showing me that she had a recliner, and she's a funny lady, and how long is this? I have no idea. She has a recliner that she would sit in so much. She's showing me that it had like the form of her butt cheeks in this recliner that she sat in so much. So that is so funny. she's also talking about she had certain TV shows that she really liked, and she loved, I don't even know if they make it anymore, the TV Guide. Y'all remember the TV Guide? This lady is talking about how much she loved the TV Guide. This is, I'm trying to bring up Grandma Deb for Caitlin, but Caitlin hasn't said if this is her or not.
Not yet.
So, we're going to see if Caitlin grabs her because it's supposed to be her grandma. If not, then we'll see who she belongs to. Miss Caitlin, are you on? Miss Caitlin, are you in the house? Did you leave us? Did you leave us, Miss Caitlin?
Thanks, not yet.
I love how
Everybody's so helpful.
how sweet everyone is about putting in the comments, write in all caps, do this or that. Okay, looks like Miss Caitlin's not in the house. So we'll see who this lady is. She definitely has. Okay, listen to my description and then put a yes in the comments if she belongs to you. This lady has a grandmother energy. She's showing me that she was kind of a heavy set lady and that she had a recliner that she sat in so much. And she's doing this because she is so funny that the recliner had the imprint of her butt cheeks in it because it was her recliner. She sat in it and she sat in it a lot. She also loved that TV Guide, just absolutely loved that TV Guide. She always had something, like she wants me to pick up the cup. When she was sitting in that recliner watching TV, she always had something to drink. And it didn't matter, it wasn't just one specific thing. The Pink Princess.
Yes.
All right, the Pink Princess. I need to finish this because it'll make me crazy if I don't finish my sentence that I just said. It didn't matter what she had to drink as long as she had something to drink. This lady was just claimed first by Pink Princess. How this works, though, when there is one medium reading a ton of people, I don't know if you've ever gone to big galleries where you have 300 or 400 people in there. But you'll hear people say this all the time, that spirits will piggyback. They will send a group message through one person. So make sure if it is Diet Coke. It's funny that you say that, the Pink Princess, because in my cup, I actually have Coke Zero. And I knew that she kept wanting me to pick up my cup, and I thought it was related to her always having a drink with her. Because who drinks Coke Zero or Diet Soda in a cup? But I knew she kept making me want to pick that up. That's how she did that. For those of you who are curious about mediumship, that is called a forced connection. Whenever a spirit uses something in your environment to make a link to their loved one, it's called the forced connection. And that's a great lead into, I do have Intro to Mediumship up on my website. If anyone who wants to take that, it starts in January. So my more advanced class is also going to start in January. It's just not on my website yet. Right now, the only one that's on my website is my Intro to Mediumship. It starts January 11th, runs for 4 nights or 4 weeks, and then we're running to Advanced Mediumship. So you just learn some techniques. People think that I'm not done with your grandma, Pink Princess, just so you know. I love and adore when people say, I have such a gift, you're this, you're that. All I do is I tap into heaven. Everyone can do that. God would not have put some of us on this earth to tap into heaven and not given us all the ability, except I have worked really, really hard at honing that gift. And I do have people drop out. They will start my mediumship class and think I'm going to have this magic wand that says you're a medium now. It takes work and it takes practice, and some people don't want to do that, which is fine. But just know that if you do want to come, you don't have to do, I give you homework and stuff for you to practice. You don't have to do it. You can do as much or as little as you want. Just know that the more you do, the better you get. All right. This lady she's so sweet. She's in here. That's right. You tell them, honey. You tell them. Actually, Pink Princess, I knew I was going into that for a reason. Your grandmother is very much saying that you are very intuitive and you can hear her in your head, which is a sign that's called clairaudience, clear hearing. She is saying that she drops into your head all the time. And sometimes she shows me, you do take a step back and you're like, was that me? That didn't feel like me. And it's like an acknowledgement, and she's laughing about it, because when you do that, she starts laughing like, no, that was me. Listen to me, honey. Listen to me, honey. She's also talking about someone at your work is taking advantage of you. You think about her all the time, which, when you think about her all the time, just know that anyone listening, that when you're thinking about your spirits all the time, it means because they are trying to get in your head. They're dropping you symbols, and then they're trying to say, hey, I'm here. So Miss Pink Princess, who in your grandma is saying that someone at your work is taking advantage of you. Do you know who she's talking about? Like, they're just not respecting your boundaries.
She's like a second mother.
You can tell that. Love this lady. Love her. Sometimes, you want to know one of my secrets? Sometimes I get a little jealous when I bring through spirits, and they were like so loving and kind and sweet and embalmed in their people's lives. And I'm like, I wanted them in my life. I wanted someone like that when I was growing up. I know it wasn't my path, and I'm okay with it. I get it. But, we all have those moments.
Not work. My ex separated last year.
Do not show signs that they are with you. Sorry, I had to get out of that. Remind me to talk about that. Why some relatives don't show signs that they're with you.
Would this be a good reading to cover the clairs with? Somebody had asked for that. Not Pink Princess, but somebody else. To read that.
All right. Someone else had asked about the clairs. So I'm going to have your Pink Princess. We're going to have your grandmother. We're going to guinea pig her because she's so sweet and she is so helpful and she's like so excited. I am going to talk about clairs by using your grandmother. I'm going to ask her right now. I just said, Grandma, give me something in my third eye. Give me a picture. She gave me so many, but one thing she gave me was a little girl sitting at her kitchen table, and this little girl's feet, their legs aren't long enough to touch the floor, so they're dangling. And they have a pen, and they can hardly hold the pen, so their fine motor skills aren't as developed as they should, they're just not old enough for them to develop, and they're coloring, just scribbling, and they're turning and talking to her. And as this little girl turns and talks to her, she comes over and kisses their cheek. So that is Pink Princess, that's your grandmother, using my my clairvoyance, clear vision. Whenever,
Yes, she had really bad arthritis.
Okay, whenever, now I'm going to ask her to use my, what else do you want to use? Oh, claircognizance. She says, I'm using claircognizance. I got something to say. So instead of using my clairaudience, she used my claircognizance. And when I say dropped a book in, and
She said it really hard losing her. She took care of her.
oh yeah, so she is very much wanting you to know, Pink Princess, that when she left this earth, you kind of felt ungrounded, and that really affected your self-esteem. And I know a lot of people think, what? No, that is very common. When you have someone on this earth who kind of made you feel loved and kind of gave you that safe place to drop in, and you lose them, it can affect your self-esteem. So Pink Princess, your grandmother, she claircognizance, when I say just dropped a book in, is saying that you are, now that she is gone, you are even more important to carry on.
Danielle Steele.
Where's her favorite?
Danielle Steele books. She collected books.
Very good. Isn't that funny? I didn't even realize. I was like, why are you saying that? Because you said I said I dropped a book in. I didn't even realize I had said that. And my moderator's over here, yeah, you said book. I was
You
like,
said books.
I did say books. I didn't even realize I said that. Again, that is another way that spirit will just kind of sometimes make me say things I wouldn't normally say. And my client will know. They're like, oh my goodness, did you hear what you just said? She would so say that. Very good. She wants you to know that now that she is gone, you have just as big, if not a bigger part to play in this earth by carrying on the vibration in which she set forth. Which there is someone in your life who you are extremely important to. You like to make the difference in that person's life. And she said sometimes that is why we are put on this earth, is just to make a difference in the people's lives around us. That, man, she's like rolling. she said sometimes everyone wants these big, huge things. They want to climb mountains and be all kinds of big man on the block. But she says sometimes our job is to hold space for others and to love them where they're at. Thank you, Pink Princess, for letting me read your grandmother. Okay.
Your turn.
Someone asked me why some spirits don't make themselves known. I promise you that if you have a loved one in heaven that you're asking for or wanting around you, they are around you. I have never had someone coming looking for a relative that I could not find in heaven. Now, when you say, I want my brother Charlie, let's just use that for an example. You come to me and you say, I want my brother Charlie. I don't say, oh yeah, I have Charlie. Y'all know me better than that. I give evidence. I give evidential information and say things that I wouldn't know that only Charlie would know. So I've never not been able to do that for someone. Even if you don't feel them around you, they are. They might not be the showman. They might be the showman who's going to drop all these signs in front of you. And also they might be dropping them in front of you and you're just not recognizing them. I don't want anyone to think that their loved ones are not around them, because they are. Even if you had an argument with someone right before they passed, they're in heaven. They're in unconditional love. They can see how that argument played out. And they're residing in unconditional love and true forgiveness. Okay, my turn. Spirit led. Let's see what we got going on. Who's gonna join me here? I don't know what it is. I should not be in these woods. We have another hunter here. This guy was a pheasant hunter or bird. I'm not sure if it's a pheasant or it's some kind of bird. This guy is he liked to hunt birds. He died in his, how old were you? I want to say 70s, but if you said, oh, my grandpa died in his late 60s, whatever, then we can take it. He passed in his 70s. He also had, what kind of dog is that, dude? You know, it looks like I want to say cur. A Catahoula cur dog, but anyway, they look like that. This is spirit led. I see someone saying, who's she, Grit? So this is spirit led. No one's claimed him. This gentleman passed in his 70s. He loved, I say pheasant, but some kind of bird hunting. He had this cur dog that would go hunting with him all the time. He actually had a couple of them. He, what'd you do for a living? He was trying to get that to me and I missed it because I was talking. Also, he was someone who, he is saying flapping your gums, which is not something I say. So if you had someone in your life, this kind of fits, and they used to use that terminology, flapping your gums, huge on him. Because I said, I didn't hear what you were saying, dude. I was talking. And he said, you were flapping your gums. He is, you know, he did something. He was a mechanic or a carpenter, but he's showing me going into a hardware store. And he has like a screw or a nut or something that he's specifically trying to match. So he had that kind of job where he would walk into a hardware store and he would have some kind of piece of something that he specifically tried to match. So he was a fixer of things. And I'm not sure if this is a carpenter thing or if this is a car thing. What? Carpenter. Thank y'all. Carpenter thing. All right. So let me recap. If he fits you, then if he fits you, say yes. So this gentleman passed in about his 70s. He liked to go hunting. He was bird hunting. I want to say pheasant by bird. He also had a cur dog. That's what we used to call them, Catahoula curs. I don't know if that's actually what they were, but anyway, a cur. He called me flapping my gums, so that's a term you would have known him to use. And he was a carpenter. He would build things.
So far, Gigi is on work with carpenter, and the only response I got was, oh my God, and carpenter.
Okay, Gigi, are you claiming this guy? Because my moderator was confused because all he said was, oh my God, Carpenter. So does the rest of it fit also? Miss Gigi, Gigi in the house. Does all this fit you? I'm going to go with it does because my
Not my dad. He wouldn't say that. No, not for me.
Oh, okay. Very good. All right. So give me something else, dude. Everyone's confused. What else you got for me? He had an H name. Like Henry, Homer. He had an H name. Okay, I'm going to recap one more time. If she's claiming him as her grandfather. Okay, he had an H name. It was like Henry or Homer, something like that. He was a bird hunter. Pheasants is what it looks like. He passed in his 70s. He had a dog with him, like a Catahoula cur type dog. He called me flapping my gums. He was a carpenter. It could be Harry. I could go with Harry. Okay, so does this could be Harry? CJ8708, does this fit someone for you? If not, we're going to cut him loose.
Not a carpenter.
All right. I thought I was going to cut him loose, but we're not because he's going to stand right here behind me. That's what we're going to do right now.
He was an accountant. Ashley is looking for Papa Bud.
All right, Ashley, Papa Bud, here we go. It took me a minute to tap into him. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but usually I'm like, boom, boom, boom. This Harry guy, or whatever we're going to call him, the H guy, like he would not get his energy out of my way. I was like, come on, dude. Move it, move it, move it. I'm trying to bring someone else up. Okay, so for Papa Bud, I'm seeing someone who he could be the life of the party or very angry. He could be back and forth. He's also showing me that he liked to do weird things, like he could wear Christmas sweaters. Like he would sometimes wear these weird Christmas sweaters or these weird clothes, and you're like, oh my goodness, can you please, what are you doing here? But everyone just expected of him and they would laugh about it. He's also showing me he would tease whoever was in the kitchen cooking. I wanted to say your mom, but I'm not going to make that assumption because he did not say it. But I see her, like it makes me crazy when I'm making bacon, because as I'm making bacon, people will come through the kitchen and almost eat it as fast as I will cook it. And so I'm always slapping people's hands as they're trying to grab the bacon out of the pan. It's that kind of thing. Whoever was cooking, he'd go through and try to grab the stuff, and they're like, stop it, stop it. They're not really annoyed, but they're kind of, acting like they are. He's also showing me that he liked to have the...
He was a huge tease with everyone.
Yes, he was. He's also, Ashley, do you remember watching the old school cartoons with him? Because that was the next thing he was showing me. He was showing me watching the old school cartoons on Saturday mornings. He really enjoyed those. I know he's already proven himself, but I just was curious if you remembered that, because he is very much talking about that. Ashley, he's also talking about... Why is he showing me you grabbing, he's showing me you grabbing a necklace and worrying it, holding it. So I'm not sure if you do that as a habit. Sometimes I will do that. If I'm wearing a necklace and I'm thinking, I will grab it and just kind of sit there and play with it while I'm thinking. It's either that or you wear this necklace in remembrance of him. But she's showing me you grabbing this necklace and kind of thinking about it. He's also showing me that you have recently been looking at pictures of you and him together. And when spirits talk about something you've recently been doing like that, but I wouldn't know, it's a sign that...
no cartoons, but football.
Football a lot. What is this cartoon then? What is he showing me? Okay, we'll let it go. If you were in front of me, girl, we would be like, I get to be like a dog with a bone with some of these things. Like, I know what I'm seeing. And he's showing me like Saturday morning cartoons. But we'll let it go since you're not in front of me. But if you were here for a one-on-one, you see me trying to let it go. You see me trying to let it go and not doing a good job. He's also talking about, there are some traditions that y'all used to have that he was involved in the holidays, and every time they turn around, you think about how much more fun they were with him around, And he wants you to know it's so nice to be remembered. He's also telling me that there is someone on earth who has part of his name. I'm not seeing a whole name, I'm not seeing a junior, but I'm seeing part of his name. What else are you saying? You know, Ashley, he is talking about that you have done a really good job lately of, he's calling it riding the wave of life. I don't know if I've ever quite heard it put that way.
His middle name is Ray. His name is Raymond.
Okay, very good. Very good. So your son has part of his name. Thank you for confirming that. He wasn't sure. I knew he wasn't showing me a junior, but he was showing me part of it. And he's talking about what a good job, Ashley, you've done of riding the wave of life, that you've had a lot of things come at you. Instead of fighting it, you're just kind of riding it and, you know, doing the best you can with it. I'm proud of you. Your dad started it. He's proud of you. I'm also proud of you. That's really the best thing we can do. You know, some people always try to just fight against what's going on in life, and sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just have to ride the wave. You do a really good job, Ashley. That is the best way to get the most out of life, is to not fight it and try to manifest the positive as it comes at you.
Yes.
Good job.
All the time.
Very, very good job. Your dad's proud of you. I'm proud of you too, if that matters. One more time, I don't know if y'all saw the advertisement for this, but I said that there would be a code announced during the live. On my website, if you want to get 15% off of a 50-minute or a 30-minute reading, you use the code Christy15. It has to be booked before November 25th. Christy15. Also, if you want to do hypnotherapy, my husband on his website, which is Ken Jackson Executive Coach, if you use the code SUCCESS15, you will get 15% off of a hypnotherapy session. You know, I have just had some beautiful results with people doing hypnotherapy. So has he. And especially if there's any gentlemen watching, especially with the gentlemen, because there is something called content-free hypnotherapy where you can get to work on some of your trauma and you don't have to talk about it, and men don't like to talk about it. So it works out really well for them. So again, Success 15 off of my husband's website, which is Ken Jackson Executive Coach, and then 15% off of a reading with Christy 15 on my site. They have to be booked by November 25th. They don't have to be booked. You don't have to have the session because you can't get into me right now before, I think I'm booked out, not too far, like 2.5 weeks. You just have to have the appointment made and booked before then. So just know that. All right. Did you have someone picked? You know what? We're going to run back through this gentleman who's been standing here right behind me. So my husband's name is Ken Jackson. Not Godwin, the way some people call him, but I do have to laugh about that.
Does he do hypnosis for addictions and habits?
Yes, he does do hypnotherapy for addictions and habits. The only thing I have to say about that is the person has to want to change. If your husband or son or whatever comes to have hypnotherapy because you're making them and they don't want to make the change, it's not going to work. They have to want to change, because hypnotherapy doesn't make you do things you don't want to do. I know that, you know, when you go and you see it on the stage hypnotherapy makes people do some crazy things, but that's not the way. That's not real hypnotherapy. It won't make you do something you don't want to do. Okay, so we have this gentleman here who I want to talk about again because he's still standing here. He has an H name. His name is like Henry, Harry, something like that. He liked to bird hunt. He passed in his 70s. He had a dog, like a Catahoula cur. He was teasing me about Flap. Oh, good. I'm so glad you signed up for the class. They're a lot of fun. I'm telling you, the classes are more fun than you can think. Flapping your gums, and he was a carpenter. So if this guy belongs to anyone, please put a yes in the comments. He's standing here beside me, and he's like breathing down my neck. Lachey, are you saying this guy is yours? I think Lachey just claimed him.
I think so. Tall, salt, pepper hair. She's describing him.
Well, and she also said his name was Henry. Lachey 520. She said earlier his name.
And she said yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Lachey, because let me tell you, this guy has been bothering me. And I'm so glad you claimed him, because we would have been having words after this live. Sometimes if like spirits would just follow me, and I don't really care unless they start just like getting in my energy and breathing on my neck. I'm just like, you gotta go, dude. You can't be all up in, no. But you must, I don't know if you just popped on or why, because all of a sudden I was about to do another reading and he was like, boom, up on me. Like, now, tell me now. So you must have just popped on. This gentleman was so excited to have you around. Lachey, I don't know what has been going on in your life, honey, but he does stand behind your shoulder. Yes, he does. And you know what? He has big energy, like strong energy. And he would be hard to miss. He's also saying that you talk to him all the time and how much he very much appreciates that.
Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm. He very much appreciates that you still talk to him, you communicate with him, and he wants you to know that he can hear you, which it didn't. I know that you knew that, but it's nice whenever someone confirms it, like someone who doesn't even know you can confirm it for you. That's what a lot of readings are about sometimes. It's just the confirmation. You're like, yes, I knew that. He's also saying there's been some changes that you want to make in your life. There's been some changes and you're not stepping out in that fear. And I was about to say they require education. Let's just say they require extra learning. Because he is showing me a piece of paper, but I'm not sure it's a diploma. It looks more like but it looks like a certificate of some sort. Yes. He wants you to do that. Step out in that fear. Some of the biggest rewards I've ever had are by stepping out in fear. And I'm not saying stupidly. I'm just licensure. Very good. Very good. Go for it, Lachey. I knew he was showing me something that looked like a certificate of some sort. You have been being led. You've been having synchronicities dropping in, leading you in that direction. And your dad is very much like, do it, honey, do it. You can do this. Go for it. He's like your biggest cheerleader, like, yes, do it. Please step out in that fear. You're going to be well rewarded for it. Also, he is telling me, he's showing me very specific. I was about to say that he sends you birds, but he's being very specific. He is showing me a white bird. So when Spirit shows me something very specific, I know. This is one of those times, Lachey. I don't know if you heard how long you've been on the live, but I was saying earlier, sometimes I get a little jealous whenever people, I see their spirits. You don't know how, not lucky, because I know that everyone has their own path to lead and no one gets a free ride, but I never had a cheerleader in my life, ever. I never had anyone cheering me on. You're doing a good job. None of that. And so your dad is one of those people that steps up. It's like, how nice would it have been to have one person when you were growing up to just tell you one time, good job, or you've done well, or you can do it.
I see all kinds of beautiful birds.
And those birds are definitely from your dad. Make sure he's specifically showing me a white bird, but not outside. He's showing me on a piece of paper. So make sure you're looking for a white bird. He's going to show it to you. He's being very specific. Spirits are usually not this specific. In the next 8 days, and it's going to be a statue of a bird, or it's going to be on the book cover or on a card, but it's going to be white. Be looking for that. That's going to be him. And when you see it, your job, Lachey, is to take a picture of that bird and email it to me so I know, because I like having those confirmations. They're fun sometimes. I wake up in the mornings and I'll have an email from someone saying, just the other day, this lady, this grandmother, all of a sudden was talking about a shower door. But she was being very specific. She was talking about not a shower curtain, a shower door. And I was talking to her daughter. I was like, I don't know why your mom is showing me a shower door. Like, have y'all recently done a renovation? And they had just recently renovated the grandmother's, or this lady's mom's house, and turned a bathtub into a shower. And it had this beautiful shower door in it. And this lady's grandchildren, her 2 grandsons, were living in her old house with this renovated. And I said, well, she's talking about y'all better keep the water spots off of that door. And the lady's daughter was saying, yeah, she hated water spots. So I woke up one morning to a picture of the shower door, and it was sparkly clean, I might say. Thank you, Lachey, for claiming him and letting me read him. He was super sweet. All right.
Kaylee?
Okay, wait, no. My moderator was about to give me someone, but then this, not little boy, this young man comes flying in at me. He's like, my turn, I have to go. Okay, he feels like a sun energy. He is a little bit hyper. He would have had some like ADHD issues because his brain is like that. Like, that's the way he's making me feel. There is a G name around him. I'm not convinced it's his name, but I'm hearing a G name around him. He's saying 22. He must have been 22 when he passed, because he keeps repeating 22. He had a hard time. Gavin, 50 wife, he passed at 20. Okay, so the person that was talking about someone passed at 22, he's kind of he just like, I need to do this with my hair. Well, okay, I won't do that with my hair, but he makes me want to just do this with my hair.
She just asked if he has curly brown hair.
Okay, so once you say something, like once I see curly brown hair, then I cannot use that as a descriptor because then it's in my head. So, yes, very messy hair. That I will take. I was going to say, thank you. Because once you say, when you come to me, it's called leading the medium. I know a lot of people, it's no big deal. A lot of people don't know. But it needs to be authentic information that I have gotten without you telling me, or I just can't take it. So, yes. All right, Miss, what's her name? Donna. All right, Miss Donna. This must be your boy. Because if you were here, he'd make me want to kiss you. And he said he didn't do that enough. He did not do that enough, Miss Donna. He is telling me that, okay. He is talking about...
My son's best friend?
Oh, it was your son's best friend. That must be why he's making me feel this way. That he should have, confided in you more. He should have leaned on you more. He didn't understand just what a great support system you were for him until he was gone. In heaven, you can look back and you can really see people's authentic hearts and just what they are about. And he had no idea. Like, he knew you were a great mom. He knew you were a great person, but he did not realize that your love and compassion extended to him also. He has been messing with your son's electronics. Whatever your son plays music on has been glitching, and not bad enough where he's like throwing it away or, oh my goodness, this isn't working. But where your son's looking at, like, what just happened? Why is that? What? That will be this guy. He also wants your son to know just how at home he felt.
He was a joker.
He was very much a joker. And that has not changed in heaven, just so you know. So he is very much messing with your son and joking with him. And yeah, you know, I know that he was like very happy and the joker and fun, but I think that but it was kind of a facade that he put on about, you know, it hid some of his kind of more depressed moments. And he reminds me of Robin Williams, you know, the person that is just so happy and making other people happy, and they're the ones that are hurting the worst in their hearts. And he wants you to know how much he respected you and how much he really admired the way you run your family, is what he is saying. Admiring the way you run your family. He's also saying, I love this. I love the kind of mama that you are, Miss Donna, because he's saying that you don't play. I don't either. I had some friends stop by the other day and had my grandbabies, and right in the middle, I would be in the middle of a sentence and I'd turn around and my grandson was like teasing his sister and with this toy phone, and I took it from him. I was like, no, you cannot have this, because you were doing two things. Either you were teasing your sister or you were trying to interrupt my conversation, and neither one of them is okay, so now this phone is going away. And so, you're that kind of mom. And Mama Donna, yes, you're that kind of mom, and how much he respected you for that, because you could just be so loving and caring and compassionate, but you weren't afraid to tell someone, dude, you can't do that. You know, you're going to hurt yourself, or that's not the best choice for you. So thank you for making such a difference in this kid's heart, and just know that he loves you like a mama. And he felt like a son energy. That must be why he felt like a son to you, because he called you Mama Donna.
So true.
Yeah, if you were sitting in front of me and I was like, oh, I see you have a son in spirit. That's what I would have said. And that's why, because he felt that energetic vibration in your life. Thank you, thank you.
I don't know if Angel is still on. She was really hoping that you could confirm her 3-year-old daughter is claiming to see her brother who's in spirit and wants to know if it's him or not.
Someone's asking if their 3-year-old daughter is seeing her brother in spirit.
And Angel is her name.
Angel is her name.
Oh, the person's name, not the
Right. Angel is the person's name. Yes, and I'm also hearing that there's something in your daughter's room that he make noise. So now that was the reason I had to take a moment, because I will never just answer a question without some kind of explanation, because I can sit here and say, oh yes, your daughter sees your son. He has to prove it to me. So I was waiting just a moment for him to prove it to me, and his proof is that he makes something in your daughter's room make noise. Okay, real quick before we move on to the next one. I don't know if you were watching this, but there is a code for 15% off of a reading on my site. It just has to be booked before November 25th. Not that it has to take place, but you have to have it booked. You have to use it before then. And it is, y'all ready? Christy 15. It's on my 50-minute readings and my 30-minute readings. Christy 15. Then if you want a hypnotherapy, hello San Diego. I bet it's not 10 degrees in San Diego like it is here. Bet not. If you want hypnotherapy, my husband's website, Ken Jackson, Executive Coach, you can get 15% off of a hypnotherapy session with Success 15. Christy 15, Success 15. And I just saw someone said that they had booked my class that starts in January, and I just saw a couple of people book it. So thank y'all. I do have an intro to mediumship class starting only in person, over Zoom.
Or
you can do it in person, but my husband has done hypnotherapy in person and via Zoom. I've only had sessions via Zoom just because
equally effective.
They're equally effective. Okay, I know Christmas time is a tough time. This reason I thought I was like, oh, I'll offer a reading, a discount on readings. Okay, who we got? Oh, it's me. Oh wow. Okay, so we have a gentleman stepping up here. I was like, how am I going to put this nicely? He was in his 20s. And he was, his life was taken by someone else. And honestly, I'm trying to decide if it's a gun or a knife. I'm feeling like I need to do this, and there's blood. Okay. What else you got for me, dude? I'm hearing a P name associated with this guy, like Paul.
Hope Riley says yes. Knife. Charlie died at 21.
Okay, Charlie.
Knife. 21.
Okay, I thought, I wanted to say a knife, but they are so rare. You would be amazed at how few people are murdered with knives. Okay, what is this P name around him? Who is it, Hope?
Hope Riley. Hope, yes.
Hope, what is the P name around him? It's not, he's, of course, not his name. His name is Charlie, but there's a P name around him, like a Paul. Did the person who take his life, did he know that person?
It was traumatizing.
I'm feeling like he knew him. It was an argument that got out of hand. And not that would make you feel better. I don't feel like it was premeditated. It was something that just got out of hand. And, I can't imagine. It is hard enough losing a child. I can't imagine losing a child so senselessly. I am so sorry, Hope. Okay. Well, if you remember who this P, if it comes to you later, who this P name. Oh, your mom's name is Peggy. Okay, very good. Is she in spirit, Hope? Yeah, but I was looking for a P name, and
Not just being very helpful.
You are being very helpful.
No, she's not.
Okay. Let her know that your son. I wanted to tell, who is that? A&M's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for your help, A&M's mom.
Very fantastic. Every time.
Yeah, you're always so helpful. I should put you on payroll. Okay. Let Peggy know that your son hears her praying for him. So when you pray for someone who is in heaven, they can feel those love vibrations coming across. So let Peggy know that. Also, Peggy needs to take care of herself. She has not been, I'm hearing, following doctor's orders. And also, Miss Hope. He keeps saying it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. So just know that.
She says all the time she can't live any longer without him. It's terrible.
I can't imagine. I honestly can't. I mean, those, they always say when you're doing mediumship, I don't ever say it because
She said this is my nephew. I lived with him.
Oh, it was your nephew and you lived with him. So, again, this is where we have that son energy going on because he feels like a son to you. So you must have treated him like a son. He had that vibration in your life. He is also saying that it's not your fault. So you must feel some kind of guilt around it. And it's like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. Like you were warning him. I'm hearing you warning him. You were warning him about something. You were warning about this guy not being a good kid that he was hanging out with, and for him not to go out so much. You were warning him about something. And he was like, no, you couldn't. Like, he wasn't going to listen to anyone. He was doing his own thing. He was living his best life, he said. That's his exact words. I was living my best life. Just all over the place, and absolutely loves you. He's also talking about cookies. I don't know why he's talking about these cookies. I don't know if he used to make him cookies. But anyway, he's talking about these cookies. He really wants those cookies, he's saying. Thank you so much for letting me read him, Hope. He is very much talking about, real quick. He is saying, I'm at peace. I'm at peace. So I don't know if there was questions because of how violently he died. Maybe you were afraid that he wasn't at peace. He's absolutely at peace. And, you know, this little boy, not little boy, but, you know, you've heard me say it. If you're in your 20s or 30s, you're a kid to me because I have kids in their 20s and 30s. Okay. I want y'all to imagine, those that are listening, put on your like imagination cap for just a moment. You're on Earth. We're in these bodies. You know, these bodies feel heavy. Half the time they're hurting somewhere. We always have angst going on in our head. Instantaneously, when you leave your body, you feel light and you see loved ones. You know you are surrounded by love. You usually have some loved ones that meet you, a guide, an angel. And this kid's mind is just blown with the amount of love that surrounds you instantaneously. And he is saying, everywhere you look, there is love. There's nowhere that you can look in heaven that there is not love and that you're not surrounded by love. Okay, so these are his words, hope, not mine. So you know when I say these are his words, there's about to be a cuss word coming. He said, and there's no judgmental bitches over here. And then he starts laughing. Okay, do you stay the age you are when you die? No. Okay, so when you die, like we'll do this for babies a lot. So whenever a baby passes, the way that I'm going to be able to identify them so that you know I have your baby is to show me a baby and some other identifying information. And once my client says, yes, that's my daughter or my grandchild or whatever, then they morph into a person. Because your soul is eternal. Your soul is ageless. It doesn't stay a baby. Your soul is wise and your soul is ageless. So they present as a baby just so we can identify who they are, but then they morph into a person so they can just communicate with me better that way. All right. 15% off on my site of a reading, Christy 15. And then 15% off on my husband's site, Success 15, off of hypnotherapy, and his site is Ken Jackson Executive Coach. I will be live again tomorrow. I think this is so odd. Because you can't, there's not a button on here to do a subscription. Do you see it where you can subscribe to me on yours? Oh, it's not on mine. Okay.
I don't see it on my phone.
TikTok's just doing weird things today. It looked different when I went live. It's just so many weird things going on with TikTok today. Okay, so I will also be live again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time. 11 a.m. Central Time tomorrow. All right. And then that's general. I will go do a subscription only live sometime next week. I will publish it.
There's a star at the top of your screen. Do you see a star at the top of your screen? Oh, okay. Thank you all for the comments, though.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. And I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. I'm going to go for a walk I think it's up to 15 degrees now. So I'm going to go for a hike in the 15-degree weather. Thank y'all for joining me. Have a good evening.